welcome to the BigFoot KnitCast, episode 2, The Plucky Knitter Made Me Want to Die. Yes, that's the title. I just have to say, welcome. My name is Sheila. If you missed the first one, you're welcome to go back and watch it. I've thought and thought on a name, and I explained why I picked BigFoot KnitCast in the last episode, but I had thought and thought about a name. You have all kinds of really cool names when you're looking at Instagram or YouTube video podcast names for knitters. You've got the Gentle Knitter, you've got Grocery Girls, you've got who else? There were some really cool ones, and I wrote them down because of course I'm going to forget. Anyway, so I'm thinking, what could be a really cool name for me? All cool names are taken, right? The only other name that I could think of that might describe really well who I am would be the dyslexic knitter who knits really slowly and messes a lot of things up. Maybe not. Maybe that wasn't such a good name. So I landed on BigFoot. Okay, if you want to know why it's named BigFoot, I encourage you to go back and watch the first one. You can just laugh. It's just funny. Okay, I just wanted to say thank you to all the people out there that are very encouraging, especially the ladies at my local yarn store, Loops. I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Yay! Hi, Shelly again, and Janet. Janet is so very, very encouraging. She is just a cheerleader, and she watched my first podcast and said, "Oh, you did a good job. Do it again." So, Janet, this whole episode is for you and my husband because both of you have kind of pushed me out there. Okay, do this. You can do this. Yay, you can do this. I don't know. If you're just tuning in for the first episode, I'm a mom of 8. I have 8. Yes, 8. I said 8. That's EIGHT, number 8. Can I do that? 8. Will it fit on the screen? Children. Which means I don't have a lot of time to knit. I'm a busy mom. We homeschool, and it's just kind of crazy. You will probably hear them running in and out of the house or up and down the stairs. The dishwasher's going. I'm hoping that this microphone can overcome a lot. I have a lot of faith in it. It might be the little camera that could. So, again, I just wanted to take a minute and say thank you to those people that are encouraging in the knitting community, which most of us are. I haven't ran across many that aren't, but some people are just really, really encouraging cheerleaders. So that was Janet, and also Tracy and Jody of Grocery Girls. You two have been an inspiration to me, and Nicole at Hugh Loco. I really enjoy watching you ladies, and you're just very, very uplifting and encouraging, and you have so much positive energy. It's just fun. It's fun to watch you. So I'm hoping that some of you will find that I'm at least not going to put you to sleep. Also, Eric from Sticks and Twine, I just wanted to say thank you because in one of your latest podcasts you mentioned that you had gone to Rhinebeck and you had joined on the I think you guys called it the podcasters meetup, and you mentioned that you encouraged some of the new people starting out that everyone has something to everyone has a platform, or you said something like everyone has the right to have a voice, and that was very encouraging to me. So here we are, episode 2. Here we go. Oh, I almost forgot. Denise Bell of Lost City Knits here in Oklahoma. Lost City, Oklahoma. It's not very far away from where I am. She deserves some kudos because she took the time to email me back and forth, help answer my questions, point me in directions. And in July, we have what they call a fiber Christmas in July. It is just a little bit west, in a little community just west of Tulsa, and it's in the little fairgrounds, and the whole building is packed, and there's all kinds of fiber and yarn and you name it, it's there, and it's fun. And I got a chance to shake her hand and hug her neck and say, hey Denise, I have questions. And she actually sat and visited with me and didn't make me feel silly for asking her questions. So I would just wanted to say thank you, Denise, so much for just being kind and open to being able to answering questions. Okay, so second thing I wanted to mention, I just love seeing everything you guys are knitting, and I say guys in a very general term, girls, guys. I enjoy seeing what you guys are making. It's so fun to me to see all of the amazingly creative things that you do, whether it be the little I can't pronounce the Japanese name for the little animals. I love seeing those. I love seeing what you're sewing. I love seeing all the creative ideas that you have. I've never been good at drawing or painting, but I love color. So we'll talk about dyeing later. This is the podcast episode where the Plucky Knitter made me want to dye, and I'm gonna have fun explaining that. Let's see here. Oh, I mentioned Eric of Sticks and Twine. Rib magazine is getting ready to come out, and I also wanted to say thank you, Eric, for being a part of that, because there aren't tons of knits made specifically with men in mind. They kind of get the afterthought. And I know my husband would really appreciate some things, some finished objects, not just whips that I have in process for him. So I can't wait for Rib magazine to come out, and I'm very glad that their focus is on men. So while we're talking about magazines, I got my issues. Let's see here. This is what I got in the mail this week. I got this goodie, Comfort and Joy, and it is by, oh golly, Melinda Bernardi. Is that right? I'm going to mispronounce that probably. But it is a really cool book on stockings, on knitted stockings, hand knit stockings. So there you go. There's just some fun ones in there. And I'm so excited to take this to Thanksgiving and talk to my grown children about their new family. What kinds of things they want to do with their Christmas stockings. That's fun, fun, fun. And then I got my pom-pom issue, and this is always just nice, luscious, and all the fun stuff that's in there. Recipes and you name it, cool hats, and all just really fun stuff. And Megan Fernandez is one of my favorites to watch. That whenever I was watching Knit Stars, she was one of my favorite parts. And then I also got making, yes, oh, can you even see it? Is there a glare? Let's see here. Looks to me like there's a glare on that. But the only thing that made me so sad, there we go, there it focused. The only thing that made me so sad is you might be able to see that the post, it got really, really torn up in the post. Well, not torn up. It got, let's see if that'll focus. It got, no, maybe it won't. But you can see the creases. The post office, the U.S. Post, just tore the crud out of this thing, and it was wrapped in bubble wrap, all nice and neat, and the bubble wrap was not Mattermaid's fault. That was not what I meant. I meant, grr, post office, do a better job. This is not the first time that books have been torn up by the U.S. Post Office of mine. Okay, and they're not very sympathetic either. So that was definitely post office fail. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see if I can keep on track and make this not be an hour and a half. I don't know. It might be. Second segment. My channel is obviously in its infancy, which is kind of funny. I have, let's see. I have put on my channel, on the right side, you're going to be able to see featured videos or podcasters, and those are people that I like to watch. So if you don't know what to watch, you can look at some of those as suggestions. I just really, really enjoy watching them. I also really wanted to, I just wanted to mention that I enjoy getting to know you feel like you get to know the person as you're watching them, and they're talking about their lives, they're talking about what they're knitting, and all of us are so very different, and we do things differently, and I think that's so cool. I just love to watch what it is, and how you girls and boys, how you men and women are going about doing the different different things, techniques, how you organize things, what your stash looks like. I love it. Okay. Speaking of these other knitters and podcasts, I already mentioned that I kind of had been wondering about what to name mine, and we landed on BigFoot KnitCast. So I got a little ahead of myself earlier. That's okay. So let's see if I can remember what is my my train of thought. It left. Did you hear it? Woot woot. Okay, so since the title of this podcast is The Plucky Knitter, hi Sarah, made me want to die, I will explain. Okay, Sarah's colorways are amazing. Amazing. She does an amazing job. Her yarns were the very first yarns that made me say, I have to have that. Not, oh, that's a nice gray. I think I'll go look for another gray that's similar. No, no. I had to have that color. I have to have that yarn in that color. She's an amazing marketing whiz, but her product is really amazing. So, besides having to have that color in that yarn, she also makes me want to have sweater quantities of that color in that yarn, which is great for her, right? Okay, but here's the thing. If you're familiar with the Plucky Knitter, you know that it can be hard to get your hands on a specific color or yarn, or that specific color in the base you're looking for, because part of that is, well, she doesn't dye. It's not all of her updates aren't dyed to order, so she may only update a few things. So let me just say that I have a love-hate relationship with the Plucky Knitter. I love it, and I absolutely hate it because I want to buy everything. And I want to buy it in unlimited quantities. I want to be able to buy it when I want to be able to buy it. And I can't, because that's not how she does her updates. I hate that I can't just sit and knit her stuff full time. I hate that I don't have 8 arms to knit more things at a time. I hate that I don't have $1 billion to just spend. So you get the idea. So seeing that the Plucky Knitter yarns are always in high demand, I usually get cart jacked. I'm not a computer person, and I don't have any little bots to do my buying for me, or I don't even know how to figure that out. If anyone wants to slip me some side information, I would take it. It's not that they're a bad time for me. I just don't have the time to devote to, okay, I want this yarn in this color on this base, and I'm going to wait until it happens. So I just kind of get some piecemeal stuff. That's okay. That's okay. Cart jacking is, just, it is what it is. So I have been on a pink fetish for the last several months. Maybe this last year I've been on a pink fetish, and I just want to say that I am really drawn to grays. I am drawn to neutrals. You can see I'm in a navy t-shirt. T-shirt is kind of my mom uniform. It's easy to change. They wash well. They're $5 or $10. Whenever you ruin one, you pitch it and you just get another one from Target. Besides that, I'm drawn to neutral colors out of just practicality of my wardrobe. In my knits, I love grays. They are soothing. They are beautiful. I love neutrals. I love a soft palette. And one of the things I really like about the Plucky Knitter and appreciate about her is she puts together colors that are they're a little bolder and brave for me, which is good. Puts me out of my comfort zone, and I like that. I like that. So even though I'm drawn to grays and I love grays, I have been on a pink binge this past year. I think it's been about a year, maybe a little bit longer. That's okay. But I'm also a very patient knitter, even though I'm probably a dyslexic knitter. I'm also very patient, and I would rather find the perfect color or the perfect yarn for the project that I want it to be than to just grab anything and go. Not on every single thing, but on I have a specific sweater in mind, and I'll show you that in a little bit. So here, let's talk about my pink obsession. So here are some of the pinks that I've been obsessing over. I've been just on a search for I've been on a search for the perfect pink, and I couldn't really decide what it was. And when you are searching online, and in your own knit shop, you know, there's nothing like seeing and touching and feeling something. So I usually have to have it actually in my hands. I have to see it, touch it, feel it. That's just kind of who I am. So here we go. I have a bunch of pinks. I'm going to show you every one of them. Okay, here we go. Whoops, sorry, that was my basket. Let's start with this one, Spud and Chloe sweater. And this is a very lovely pink. I hope you can see that. It's kind of a Pepto pink, though. It's showing up a lot lighter on the camera, it looks like to me, than it is. It's kind of a ballerina pink, if you ask me. It's superwash. It's merino. It's Peruvian. It's worsted. Oh, I'm sorry. It's actually 55% wool, 45% cotton, and so there you go. So this is one of the pinks that I thought I would try, and I didn't even swatch with it because I just didn't, it wasn't what I was looking for in the specific, for the specific project that I had in mind. Okay, so let's see here. It wasn't swatch worthy. It's project worthy for other things. It's not that I hate it. I do like it. I have a specific sweater in mind. So the sweater that I have in mind is Hannah Fettig's featherweight sweater. So that one wasn't it, and so I went and looked at Quince and Company Finch, and this colorway is called Petal. I hope you can see that, and it's a very pale pink, and I like it. I like it a lot. It's Finch is soft. It's 100% American wool. It's not a terribly expensive yarn. I like it a lot. And here is, I will show you one of my swatches. This is the Quince swatched up. That is Finch, and I like it. It just wasn't the one, so I kept searching. I saw this one online, and I thought, this is Hedgehog. It's sock. And her Hedgehog is 90% superwash, merino, and 10% nylon. And let's see if I can make this where you can see what the colorway is. The color name is, let's see, Coral. And I think that describes it pretty well. It is a very coral color. It's got lighter pinks in there with some warm. It's some warm tones. I love the way Hedgehog looks. It feels nice. And this was a contender. I have not swatched it up, but it definitely was a contender. Another pink. This was not even a contender. This actually goes with something. Another whip that I'll show you in a little bit. This is Plucky Knitter Cecilia. Setting that one aside. Plucky Knitter Dreamy. And I'll talk about this in just a minute because it has a special place in my heart. More Hedgehog. This, I'm going to mispronounce it, but let's see here. That is Harajuku. That's the colorway, and that's also sock, Hedgehog. And this is Teacup, Hedgehog Teacup, which I like a lot, but it wasn't quite what I was going for. It's really not pink. It just has pink speckles in it. This one may win. This one is by We Love Knitting. She's an Australian dyer, Claire and Ingrid. They're in Australia. I believe they're both in Australia. This is called, here's their tag, We Love Knitting. And it's an extra fine merino 4-ply fingering. There you go. I believe the colorway is called Candy Pink. Look at that cute little heart punch. Isn't that cute? And here is the little note that they sent me when I picked that up. Little handwritten note, just the cutest thing ever. And this colorway, I'm hoping you're going to be able to see my swatch, in my swatch, that this, see if you can see it. Nope. Okay, let's see here. I like the quince. The quince is soft. It's nice. This is amazing. This is the candy, it's either candy floss pink or candy pink. It's just lovely. It is absolutely lovely. It has a very soft hand to it. Not much of a halo. It's stretchy. It's givey. It's everything that I would want in a sweater. I love it. I love it. And then, so this may be what it is. The very first swatch I did for this sweater, I actually did in Plucky Knitter. And this is Primo Fingering, and Primo Fingering is a 75-25% superwash merino cashmere nylon blend. And honestly, this one, let's get that out of the way, this one wins in the softness. I love the tonalness of this. I love all the colors that come through. It has a little bit more of a halo. It's beautiful, and it's soft. It's amazing. However, I really wanted it pink, and so I probably will go with this We Love Knitting pink. So, I'm just going to show you, as I'm swatching for a specific project. I've been swatching for this project for a few months. I get sidetracked and I'm doing other things. I have other whips I'm working on. And so how I organized this was I just put little tags on here, and they're just held onto the swatch by this little pin, whatever they're called. And then I put them on a ring. And so as I swatch for this specific sweater, which I won't be able to wear until spring anyway, because well, if I'm planning on making it 3/4 sleeves, and so the idea is that it's just kind of a spring throw-on sweater. Although I may do another one, I may do two. I really would love to do a sweater in this Primo Fingering, this colorway. I don't think I mentioned it's tintype. I would love to have a sweater out of that. So I don't know, but that's how I organize it. That's how I'm keeping it together to figure out. Oh wait. Maybe I did like that one. I don't remember, because it's been 3 months since I swatched that one. That's just how I am. I'm okay with being a process knitter and not necessarily a product knitter. Okay, so let me put those aside and say that this colorway, Dreamy, and I also showed you, it's my La Promenade whip is knit up in Spiffy, which is silk and cashmere, in this colorway Dreamy, which is a little bit brighter on that base than on this one. This base is bellow worsted, which is merino and cashmere, and it's wonderful. It's lovely. It's kind of a dusty pink. I love it a lot, but it didn't make the swatch cut. I'm actually going to make a hat with that one. With this one, I have another skein of that one. So it inspired me to dye. And here's the reason why. I could only get my hands on one skein of Spiffy for the whip that I showed you last week, La Promenade. I could only find one. And I was so enraptured by this color that I decided I had to try and do it myself. Not that I wasn't going to try and recreate a yarn that I could actually do that project with, because I could only get one skein. That's not what I mean. What I mean is I loved that color so much, I thought, I've got to try. I've got to try to recreate this color. And I don't mean copycat exactly, although I would say that, what's that saying, where imitation is the most sincere form of flattery? I hope Sarah takes that as a compliment and not as trying to horn in on her. That will never happen. That will never happen. But here is one of the results of some of my dye pot experiments. I will show you. This was one, and this obviously I wasn't going specifically for that color. I was just kind of playing around, and I keep intending to swatch this up so that you can kind of see, or that so I can see. Does it stripe? Does it pull? How is the technique that I used? How is that translating into knitting? What does it look like in garter? What does it look like in just plain stockinette? So yeah, this was fun. This was fun. I enjoyed this. But set that aside. This was the thing that I was going for. I was going for this dusty, kind of dirty pink. It's just a light pink. This particular yarn blank that I used, not sock blank, I'm sorry, just this blank yarn that I used is an alpaca merino silk. So it does have a bit of a halo because that alpaca, it's incredibly soft, it's incredibly squishy, and honestly, I am in love with this pink. I love it. I was so excited that when I looked in the dye pot that this was what was happening. Yay! I was so excited. So dyeing for me is very satisfying. Okay, I'm rambling. I'm sorry. Here we go. I'm going to show you two more things that I have dyed, and I mentioned that I love grays. So this is one that I did. I hope you can kind of see that. I love grays, and I especially love this kind of tonal gray where you're going to get those variations of color. It's not quite variegated. It's maybe it leans a little variegated. It's 100% superwash. It's a high twist, so you could, it's suitable for socks. It's an 80 merino and 20 I can't pronounce this ever. I can never pronounce this. Polyamide. Polyamide. There you go. 467 yards. So I love this. I love this, and I love that darker undertone. That I'm just proud of myself. What can I say? I also did this kind of a jewel purple tone because I have a friend that loves jewel tones, and I don't know exactly what you would call this, but I picked up some of the unicorn tails, Madeline Tosh unicorn tails that are just blanks, and dyed some of those up, and I really kind of like those two together. I don't know. Okay, I think I have digressed quite a bit. Let's see here. Here's some other dye pot adventures. This was fun. This was fun. This was just kind of experimenting in the dye pot. And then this again was in the quest of what can I do for my friend who loves jewel tones. So let's see that. I'm really enjoying some of those variegated effects that I'm getting in there. Okay, I don't know what some of those fibers are on there. They don't belong. Go away. Okay, there we go. Can you see that? That is kind of an emerald green. It kind of goes with this one. Those two kind of go together. I didn't really mean for that to happen. Sometimes those things happen without meaning to. Let me put that one away. And then I will show you kind of a purple and a gray. This one kind of has some speckles. I was experimenting with some speckles and some dark colors with mixed in. Okay. So, can you tell I'm having fun with that? I'm having a lot of fun with that. So here we go. I have had so much fun talking about what I was dyeing. I've lost my train of thought. Let's see if we can find it again. So we talked about swatching for the sweater, how sweet Claire is. I love her yarn. Oh my goodness, I have some more yarn to show you of that, but I'll save that for next time. And hopefully I'll have a finished object to show you out of her yarn. Oh, here's one more swatch. I was swatching, this is swatching for a hat in the round. And I don't know if any of you have seen that. Probably everybody knows about it. Everybody knows about everything before I do. That's just the way it goes. That's okay. The slow knitter, the one step behind everyone else knitter, I don't know. Maybe I toss those out. Those just really don't sound good. This is the Plucky Knitter. It's Primo Aran. And so just like the other Primo, it's a, I believe it is an MCN. So it's just an Aran weight instead of a fingering weight. So I swatched this for a hat. Shh, don't tell my husband. And since I did it in the round, I used the needles, the little circular needles, and I just swatched back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then when it came time, I just cut those apart, and then I steam blocked it. And I'm the type of person that I'll carry this around in my pocket. Amy Herzog said to, so I do. I want to know, what does it feel like up against my skin? What does it feel like? Is it scratchy? Which I know that Plucky Knitter's stuff isn't scratchy. That's not what I mean. I just mean that, how's it going to behave? I may wash and block it another time, just to kind of see, is it super wash? Is it going to stretch? Is it going to, grow on me? So anyway, but again, I love that little variegation going on in there. And it's very soft, and honestly, when I knit it up, I was thinking, holy cow, this could be bulletproof. I tend to be a little loose, so I go down a needle size. I think I stayed where what was recommended in the pattern, and just to see what was going to happen. And I'm telling you, this thing could stand up on the table by itself. Before I washed it and blocked it. It almost will now. So it definitely would. There it goes. It definitely would have stood up by itself. And I could almost have it just like that. It was just kind of hard and stiff, and wow, I really knit it tightly, I thought. And then, you know what? I steam blocked it, and when it totally dried completely, it was very soft. It's this lovely touchable fabric now that I really like. So that's one of the reasons why I kind of sit on my swatches for a while. I don't want to make a decision too fast. There are variables that go into things, and that sounded funny. There are variables that go into these things, and living in Oklahoma, we may only get an occasion to wear a hat that's this thick, not thick, this dense of a fabric, maybe a month out of the year. The wind blows a lot, but not all the time up here in green country, and we just don't get a ton of cold weather. We finally have gotten 2 freezes this week, finally. Goodness gracious, I thought we didn't really have a winter last winter, and the bugs have been horrible. So all that to say that I enjoy kind of sitting on my swatches for a little while. I think it's worth the wait. Now, I know some of you guys are really, really fast, and you whip things out, and I'm just jealous. I'll just tell you that. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the speed that I knit, or the speed with which I don't get things done. Okay, so I think that I need to talk to you about a finished object. And it's singular, one finished object. It's a hat that I knit. It's going to be a gift. The pattern is called Knit Night Hat, and it's by Judy Marples. I'm reading that because I'm horrible with names. It's knit in Zen Yarn Garden, Serenity DK. Here it is. The colorway was special for loops. It coordinates with, I think, Guacamole and another one of their, I can't remember the other colorway that it coordinates with. Let's see. It is a DK weight. It's 90% superwash merino and 10% cashmere. So, of course, it's luxurious. Shelly has made me a yarn snob. It's just the way it is. I'm okay with that. This yarn really probably is, with the gauge that I knit, this yarn was probably too drapey for this project. This project was really not quite supposed to be this floppy. I think that I believe that the sample that was knit up I think, let me say this again. I think that the pattern was written for Malabrigo Rios, which is a little bit stiffer of a knit fabric. Also, it kind of kept growing and growing. I love this project. Let's see if I can put this on. Let's see. I love it. But it's, you know, big. It's big. So what I wound up doing, do you need some help, John? Okay. What I wound up doing to make this, make sure that there was some negative ease in there, there you go. Showing off my gray hair. There it is. What I did, I hope you can see this, is I sewed in some elastic thread. You see that? The merino has give and it has stretch and it'll give back. It's just that it was just a little bit floppy. So I just knit in some elastic thread. I wanted there to be a little more negative ease than there was, and I wasn't willing to rip it back and start over and either cast on fewer stitches or go down a couple of needle sizes, which is where I probably should have started out with 2 sizes smaller, and swatched and seen where I was in the round, and then, well, you learn your lessons, right? Okay, so it's a gift. I did. Oh, I meant to say, and I wrote that down on purpose because even though I should have gone down, I swatched for this. I got gauge. I got gauge, people. I got gauge. And yet, my finished object is bigger than it should be and floppier than it should be. But now I know that if I knit this hat again, which I like this hat, I like it a lot. I'm going to do some things differently. Probably not several things differently at the same time, but I'll do some things differently. If I were to knit it in this fabric again, I would go down 1 needle size and start my decreases maybe a little sooner. You know, some of those things to adjust that. But I do really like the fabric. It's beautiful. I like the colors. I like how it's variegated. I love the little buttons that I chose for it. Okay. So, here we go. Let's talk about whips. The very first whip is going to be a Plucky Knitter pattern. It's called State Line, and I have it here. I am about 2/3 of the way through, maybe, and it is, I can't really gauge how far I am. Well, it's between half and 2/3. Okay, so let's see if you can see that. Do I have it backwards? Of course I have it backwards. Here we go. Okay, this is a shawl. It is, it's just kind of a, it's definitely not a pie shawl. It is just kind of a scarfy, long shawl that, okay, sometimes I think, Sheila, just stop talking. Take a breath. Here we go. Okay, so State Line by the Plucky Knitter. It's knit on 3 different bases. You are combining bases and colorways, and this is one of the things I love about her patterns, and she just encourages you to mix things up. It doesn't, just like Stephen West has said 8 billion times, so what? If you like it, do it. So this colorway here, the blue, which is the first section, is called Left Coast. It is knit on an MCN that is 75, 20, and 5% nylon. It was kind of a broken rib pattern, and this will be the top. And then the next part is the diamond part, and that is knit on, the colorway is called Ogre. It's knit on Traveler DK, so it's a DK weight and the Traveler base, and that, I love it. I love it. Love it. The diamonds, I will tell you, the diamonds have kicked my butt. Okay, I have knit the same, these rows here, these first 5 rows, I probably knit those 5 times. Okay, we're back. I had a few technical difficulties. I now have a sleeping 1-year-old on my lap. You just can't see him. He's under there laying across my legs. And I didn't realize that I had some videos and pictures that were uploading from iCloud on that. So We had to take care of those issues. I hope the light is still enough, and we'll finish and wrap this up. Okay, where we left off was I was talking about the diamonds and how the diamonds had kicked my hiney, which they did, and I knit those same 5 rows 5 times. That's okay. I finally got past it, and I think the diamonds are beautiful. You can see I've marked one right here, one little one that should have been a pearl when it was a knit, but that's okay. I'm not going to be picky and find every little mistake. That's okay. We're just going to move on with life, because overall, the overall image is of a diamond pattern. That's what we're going for. Okay, so then the next color that's coming along the pike is this lovely Cecilia. It is in Lodge worsted, and like I said, that's colorway is Cecilia. It's a 60-20-10-10 merino, cotton, silk, and flax. Now the dogs are running in and out. Oh, this is grand. Okay, let's see if we can get this. We can get through this. But that's the color pop that's coming, and I love it. I love it. What I have this stored in is my wonderful bag here by Fringe Supply. It is Plucky Pink. It's the colorway, the one colorway. It's a bag, it's not a colorway. It's the one color that Eric of Sticks and Twine said he wouldn't have, which is a good thing, because if he had wanted one, I get cart jacked so many times that he would probably have this and not me. So that's okay, Eric. I'll take your pink bag and I will use it gladly. I also like the orange and gray and blue and all the other colors that are out there. But one of the things I wanted to show you, which is kind of a side note that my video had stopped before, I found these cool little sponges. They are 2 for under $2, and they're used to clean like a felted hat, like a cowboy hat. And here is the packaging. They are called Felt Hat Cleaning Sponges. And you can see right there on the little sticker, they were $1.79. They are from M&F Western Products in Sulphur Springs, Texas. I would think you could probably find these online. I haven't tried. I got them at my local farm supply store. But the thing I've discovered is that they clean canvas beautifully. I do have some wax, some canvas wax, and some canvas cleaner in my... shh, don't tell anyone, it's going in my stocking. But I wanted to show you this. I've already worked the magic on the front of my bag. I don't know if you're going to be able to see, since the sun is kind of going down, I don't know if you're going to be able to see my spot. That is, let's see here, where is it? It's kind of in the crack of the middle of the back, right? Can you see that? Can you see those kind of darker just spots? And all you have to do with this little beauty is you take it and you just kind of buff it. And it doesn't take away the color of the canvas. It just kind of scrubs off the dirt. Well, now it's not going to work really well. I did it on the front and I promise it worked. But for under $2, it might be worth a try to just kind of spot clean those without water even, and take that spot away. Let's see if it works. Of course, it's not going to work in the video, right? That's the way it goes. Okay. I don't know if you're going to be able to tell any difference, but it looks lighter to me, maybe. There were 2 pretty big spots in the front, and I don't see those now. So they were right kind of in the middle, and there's... Okay. Well, there you go. I am kind of a bag obsessed bag lady, and I have a lot of bags, but I have a lot of projects, so I can't feel too bad about that. Okay, so I think I mentioned that the green colorway was Traveler DK and the color was Ogre, which was merino, mulberry silk, and yak. The blue is called Left Coast, and it is a merino cashmere nylon. I don't think I ever said what the yarn was, and I may have put that up. That's okay. That's funny. I thought I wrote it down. Of course I didn't. Of course. And then the pink is, I did say it was Cecilia, and then it was Lodge worsted, and it's a merino cotton silk flax, which is really kind of a nice, it's kind of nice. Okay. My last whip that I'm going to show you is called the Prussian Princess Cowl. It's by Shelley Brander, and here is the pattern, if I can not squish the baby as I lean forward. This is the little pattern. It was a Loops Club pattern. Can you see what it's going to look like? It's got this little fur lining on the inside, and she kind of designed it with this eyelet so that it'll poke through, kind of peek through. Well, here we go. Here's another bag, of course. It's a Bink Waffle bag. It's got the Union Jack on it, which of course I love. It's reversible. I will show you that. This is knit in Prism yarn. I like Prism yarn a lot, and this is kind of a feather and fur cross that you got going on. It's not really eyelash, but it's fun. It's going to line it on the inside. It's 100% nylon, and it's really, really soft. And then the outside is knit in this beautiful red color. It's kind of a neutral. I say it's neutral. I'm sorry. It's actually was a warm. It was kind of a warm red there. It's called Symphony 3.2. It's an 80-10-10 MCN. Can you see that? Hand-dyed yarns, Prism. There we go. And it is really a beautiful fabric. So let's see if I can turn this around where you can see it. So as you're looking at the eyelet, it's going to be coming along like that. And here it is. There. You see that? I think it's made a beautiful, beautiful fabric. Got a little bit of variegation going on there. And it's really soft and yummy. This is definitely a yummy yarn. Okay, so let me show you the Bink Waffle bag, which I said showed it's the Union Jack on it, and ta-da! Chevron on the inside or outside, whichever side you're going to want to have on the outside, which I think is just as lovely in that chevron. And I just love bags. I love wonton bags. These are heavy-duty canvas bags. I need to remember to put the Bink Waffle link on there. I think you can find them in lots of different places, but of course I get mine at Loops. And there you go. I just love it. Okay, let's see here. Let me pack that away, get it out of the way. Oh, I was going to show you one more bag. And this is my kind of my notions bag. It is my utility bag. It goes everywhere with me. It has everything in it. It carries my extra needles. It carries my little toolkit, which I kind of assembled. It's got everything on it that I just have to grab the little pom-pom, and it has everything on it that I need. It has my little, I don't remember who this bag is by. Let's see, it's a Hadaki. It's probably Japanese. That sounds Japanese. Can you see that? Hadaki. Get my finger out of the way. But I like this little bag. It's kind of a neat little bag. It's plastic kind of on the outside, and so you probably could use it for a makeup bag or whatever else. I've got my little Cocoa Knits stitch markers, which I love. There we go. And then my poor little black sheep. The reason why he's poor, I love this little tape measure. His little tape measure comes out as a little fluffy hiney. It's retractable, but my little guy got a hold of it and almost chewed his head off. So I got to tighten that up there. I have another one. Stephanie Pearl McPhee, if you ever need tape measure, I'm your lady. I've got like a bunch of them in here, and I just keep them in there. I don't know, they may breed in there, but I don't lose them, so I may have to send you some. I just have all the stuff in there, like stuff. Here's another one. I just collect them, I think. I keep my Lifeline floss in here. I just use embroidery floss for lifelines. I keep that in there. I keep little bits of extra yarn. sticky notes so that I can put stuff, mark where I'm at in my patterns. I have my Knitter's Rule from Katrinkles in there. Katrinkles, I think that's how you pronounce that. I always think I'm pronouncing things wrong. Extra needles. There's my little chewed on Cocoa Knits snips, which I love those because I just think they're cool. And I love the little cardboard tube. I really am a junkie of all things. This I got from Never Not Knitting, and you're catching a glare there. I love it. It had little brass stitch markers in it. I keep buttons in it now, just little bitty buttons. I don't know if you can even see those. There we go. And I think it's the cutest thing ever. I just love it. It's got a little sparrow on it, and okay, I'm gushing. This was a Loops Club little bonus, and it's a little hedgehog needle and gauge rule. So you basically just put your little needle in there. If you can't remember or can't see, like I can't see what the number is on it anymore. Okay, so that's my bag. I believe that this little clear bag came from not Webs, it came from Knit Picks, and it was like $6 for this bag. So I was excited because I like to be able to see if the tool that I'm looking for is in there. Okay, enough about bags. I could go on and on and on about bags. I'm the bag lady. I like them. Oh, okay, so the last thing that I was going to talk about is holiday knitting. So most of us are getting ready to celebrate. I say most of us. I think you Canadians already had your Thanksgiving. So here in North America and the United States, we're about to celebrate Thanksgiving. I do have some British friends and Scottish friends that aren't celebrating Thanksgiving. That's okay. I assume they're not. You know what? Maybe I should look that up. I don't know. Carolyn, are you about to celebrate Thanksgiving? Okay, I have no idea. I know their Mother's Day is different than ours. Who knew? Okay, I'm admitting my ignorance all over for everyone in the world to see. That's okay. I don't mind being corrected. So, over the American Thanksgiving that we are about to celebrate here in our family, we are going to be going out of town to visit my husband's family, and I'm going to, of course, take 9 projects that I won't ever get to, but that's okay. I plan on it. I plan on getting to them. We'll see how that goes. And here is in my queue the Chevy mitts. That is just like the Chevy car. They have some cables and some twisted rib, and I'm so excited. I'm going to do them in a worsted weight. I think it calls for an Aran weight. I will adjust my gauge based on... I'm going to think of her name. I would love to go and see her at Knitwear Love, and Amy Herzog. Thank you. My brain synapses are not firing very quickly. I think I have low blood sugar. I need to go eat. But I'm going to adjust my my pattern based on the gauge that I get in my worsted weight yarn, because it calls for 16 stitches over 4 inches. So I'm going to do some math because I can do that. And really, I'm terrible at math, but that's okay because Amy shows you how to do it. And so I'm excited about that. I get to figure out what kind of gauge that I have and adjust my pattern based on that. And I have this beautiful red yarn, and I can't wait to knit those. And I'm hoping there'll be a quick knit, something I can just visit and watch kids and cousins play, and hopefully the dogs won't be chasing the cats. It'll be an interesting time. So it might take me a day or so to get the editing thing done on this. I'm not very technologically with it. I don't know how else to say that. And this little guy's waking up. Here we go. Here he comes. And I just want to say, you guys have a happy Thanksgiving, and hug someone you love. Happy knitting. Oh, he's not very happy. Say bye. Judah, say bye. Oh, you do look old and droopy whenever you go. It's better.
there, just a creasy.